Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Prime Minister announces plans to discuss a way forward as government nears its midterm in office. MOU to lay the foundation for the San Fernando General Hospital to become an area of advanced eye care. And Chamber of Industry and Commerce CEO says education is part of the key to solving the crime problem. Thank you for joining us. Speaking at the Piarco International Airport shortly after returning home from the 33rd CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in St. Lucia, the Honorable Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is announcing plans to discuss a way forward as government nears its midterm in office. She is revealing that a government retreat is carded for this week in Tobago to discuss key issues affecting the country.
Cabinet, along with other members of the People's Partnership Government, will be going on a retreat to Tobago on Friday. The Prime Minister says it is necessary in order to facilitate discussions on possible strategies towards engaging an increase in employment and a reduction of poverty and crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Cabinet meets in Tobago for the second time in 2 months, and the Prime Minister says those are the main objectives of government, which nears its midterm in office.
Next week, I believe we will be in retreat. We will host our cabinet meeting in Tobago. We will go into retreat. And as a cabinet, we will discuss how it is that we can come together now to work harder to grow the economy, create jobs, reduce poverty, and reduce crime, fight against crime. That is the focus I see for my government.
Also in the cards for the future are plans to boost the tourism sector in this country. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar says she will be leading a government delegation to St. Lucia to look at measures to improve the tourism sector.
So I do intend, on invitation of Honorable Prime Minister Kenny Anthony, to take a delegation back to St. Lucia with our Minister of Tourism, Trade, Industry and Development and Finance, Trade, Industry and Investment, and Minister of Finance and Planning. These ministers and delegates who would be interested in seeing that model there. Because you'll remember when I went to Tobago recently, I introduced the idea of establishing in Tobago, marinas in Tobago. And I have seen with my own eyes what a great asset it would be for Tobago and therefore for Trinidad and Tobago and Trinidad, if we were to develop that tourism plant to a highest extent.
The Prime Minister is also revealing that this country was not successful in its attempt to have CARICOM amend the law governing the Caribbean Court of Justice for its partial accession for criminal matters. It was earlier this year that Mrs. Persad-Bissessar told Parliament of her government's decision to sever ties with the Privy Council and accede to the CCJ for criminal matters.
The CARICOM operates in a particular way. You must have a consensus of views to get a decision. There was no consensus on this matter, as some of the heads were of the view that it needed more information and research with respect to the legal implications of such an amendment. So that issue remains open.
She adds that there were differing legal opinions on the matter. However, she says she fully respects the decision of CARICOM heads. However, the Prime Minister adds that she will be taking the matter back to Cabinet for further discussion.
Indeed, there are different legal opinions as to what is the status of this matter. There are those lawyers who say we do not need to amend the treaty, and there are those who say we need to amend the treaty. Out of an abundance of caution, as I say, I took the proposal for amendment of the treaty. I respect the decision of the heads. I can well understand their situation as well. So I would not want to make any pronouncements further until I've consulted with members of my cabinet as to the way forward in this regard.
Verna Barath, News 4.
The lengthy delay for cataract surgeries, a thing of the past. This from the Honorable Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan, who delivered the Fiji address at the signing of the MOU for ophthalmology training at the San Fernando General Hospital. Dr. Khan adds that the MOU will lay the foundation for the San Fernando General Hospital to become an area of advanced eye care and a center of excellence in ophthalmology for the Caribbean and Central America region.
A 3-year MOU signing agreement between the SWRHA and the University of Utah to establish institutional partnership with the San Fernando General Hospital for ongoing training and transfer of knowledge in the field of ophthalmology took place at the Ministry of Health's head office in Port of Spain. The MOU will facilitate training and transfer of knowledge in corneal transplant, small incision cataract surgery, and retinal and pediatric surgery. Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan says about 70% of the eye surgeries performed in Trinidad and Tobago is for the removal of cataracts. Approximately 2,500 cataract extractions per year are performed at the public hospitals, with some 3,000 new cases being presented annually.
Designed as a train-the-trainer program, the program intent was to reduce the cost and waiting times for cataract surgery and corneal transplant surgeries by teaching a few doctors from a country with these techniques, and then have them pass these skills on to the homeland. Through this training, Dr. Bola and Dr. Amogam have acquired a unique set of skills in a collaborative effort between Dr. Tabin and General Chang, and it provided the opportunity for the existing surgical model in San Fernando General Hospital in order to increase the local capacity for cataract surgeries, but reducing the existing patient backlog and the position of Trinidad and Tobago as a center of excellence.
Dr. Khan says the agreement began as a collaborative initiative between the U.S. Army and the government of Trinidad and Tobago. In an effort to reduce the backlog of cataract surgeries, several locally based ophthalmologists were taught small incision cataract surgery and corneal transplant techniques. They were then allowed to pass on their skills to the other doctors at home.
As Minister of Health, I am determined to make the lengthy delay for cataract surgeries a thing of the past. In this regard, I have also been appealing to people who have been scheduled for cataract surgery after June 2012 to collect and submit a request form for surgery at our head office or online at our website www.health.gov.tt. We remain committed to reducing this backlog of cataract surgery and ensuring that people enjoy the right to sight.
Also speaking at the conference was Dr. Randall Olson of the University of Utah, who says the aim is to enable doctors from Trinidad and Tobago to receive the very best training in ophthalmology that is available. He says he sees the initiative as a great benefit to the Central American region.
The next aspect of what we are talking about that we want to do is to make sure that the young Trinidad ophthalmologists who are training here are getting the very best experience, and that you're getting the very best new ophthalmologists here in Trinidad who are going to become the leaders of the future. And if we can help expand their vision and view of what the future can bring, if they can get a chance to come and see at our place, which is our plan, and they can get a chance to see a little more about the place that they can be playing in the system, and they develop those skill set, and this residency then expands, there is no reason why San Fernando Hospital here cannot be the center of excellence for the Caribbean Basin and for Central America.
Vuna Bharat, News 4.
News 4 continues after the break. Stay with us.
I bring a message of peace. P-E-A-C-E. It's about patriotism, environment, and citizenship education, calling you or youths between the ages of 14 to 20. Become a trainee in the Peace Program nationwide.
Just 6 weeks of peace training starting 9 July.
Come join us 2 days a week.
From 9 to 3.
Over the age of 18.
You want to be an instructor in this program?
Your training starts from the 25th to the 29th of June.
Interested in becoming a trainee or instructor?
You can call us at 625-2652 or 625-9557.
Or visit us online at peaceprogram2012@gov.tt.
The Peace Program.
Promoting patriotic citizenship.
an initiative of the Ministry of National Security for the 50th anniversary of Trinidad and Tobago's independence.
Thank you for staying with us. Chamber of Industry and Commerce CEO Catherine Kumar says education is part of the key to solving the crime problem. She's also announcing that the Chamber is fully supporting government in carrying out its various initiatives towards developing the country. The Chamber CEO was speaking at the Ministry of Education, where she met with Education Minister Dr. the Honorable Tim Gopi Singh to donate some 150 Centennial Energy Digest copies to 134 schools throughout the country.
Education is the key to being able to move into the sectors identified, to make sure we have the skill set that comes out of that. Education is key to solving the crime problem. Yes, the crime problem. If we get our students fully occupied, and Minister, you gave some very important stats recently, which I read, and I can hardly believe it. You said of the 17,000, if I recall,
70,000 students.
70,000 students entering school. Secondary school. Was it? I mean, it was less than 1/3, or just about 1/3 graduate.
About 40%.
40% graduate, and with 5 passes. And imagine that. And I mean, and that is money that the government is spending to get these students to school, give them free education, and they're still not graduating. And why? So all of these things we think are areas that we need to work with. The ministry and the chamber is committed to working with the government and all the ministries to see how we can help, work towards a solution for some of the challenges that Trinidad and Tobago is facing.
Ms. Catherine Kumar says the Chamber of Commerce identifies the great significance of the energy sector in this country. She adds that the Centennial Energy Digest contains a wealth of information written by renowned energy experts in the country and provides an insight and understanding of how the energy sector came about. She says the excellent research piece was produced by the Chamber, which saw it as being greatly beneficial to the student population.
This Centennial Energy Digest book that was produced by the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber. The Centennial Energy Digest was a thought which came out from the Chamber that the energy sector is the most important sector for Trinidad and Tobago as far as GDP, contributes over 50% of the GDP, and yet there wasn't a compilation of information brought together in one book anywhere. Yes, you can go and get stats on the various years, but bring it together and producing this as a document, which we consider to be a research document, really, that students who are interested in the energy sector, that universities, that anyone who's interested in this sector could look at the past, analyze the numbers, and do projections for the future. So a very important aspect of what we did with this is also every book comes with a CD, so the statistics, the 21-year statistics, is on electronic media.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi Singh is expressing gratitude to the Chamber for their initiative in making what he sees as a valuable contribution to the student body in this country. He says the book is the ultimate reference for any individual desirous of inquiring about the energy sector.
It's the Centennial Energy Digest, which has been described by industry specialists and government officials as the ideal reference for students, policymakers, investors, and anyone interested in learning about the Trinidad energy model. I understand that it's the first institution ever in Trinidad and Tobago to compile over 20 years of energy data into one complete user-friendly publication. And this handbook, or hardback copy, is not a handbook, it's a hardback book divided into 2 parts. Part 1, insights into Trinidad and Tobago's energy sector, comprising 12 research articles. And Part 2 covers 20 years of energy data, supported by both tabular and graphical presentations, and it is available on CD-ROM as well. So, thank you very much, Madam CEO, for your kind gesture to the education system of Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister Gopi Singh is also revealing government's aim to develop and expand the science departments at secondary schools in Trinidad and Tobago.
And this is in keeping with our Ministry of Education thrust to have more science taught in the secondary schools and to increase the amount of students doing science throughout the secondary school system. The amount of schools with science labs we are going to increase considerably over the next year by building science blocks and having more science teachers within the schools so that the students will have a deeper appreciation of what is necessary in terms of the future world where information technology and science play an important role. And so we will continue to work with the Ministry of Labor in the market study analysis and the Ministry of Science, Technology and Education, tertiary education, in terms of their skills training.
Veena Bharath, News 4.
In other news, the Honorable Sport Minister Anil Roberts is promising to assist in the development of the sporting facilities of the Karapo RC School. The minister paid a visit to the students and staff at the school, which honored him for his great contribution to its development.
Good morning, Mr. Anil Roberts. May God bless you. You are special. Jesus loves you.
And may God bless each and every one of you. You each are very special, and Jesus loves each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
A hearty welcome extended to Sports Minister and MP for Davide O'Meara, the Honorable Anil Roberts, who visited the Karapo RC School. Minister Roberts showed much interest in the refurbishment of the school's grounds and promised to do everything possible to expedite its completion.
From a little village, Karapo in the back of Davide O'Meara. For those who don't know, it's near the Santa Rosa race complex. And I'm very happy to assist. The school grounds was in a terrible, dilapidated state. It was left so for many years, and right now it's going under refurbishment so that the children will have a safe place to play, whether it's run, do their PE, their football, whatever they need. And also, the teachers here are incredible. As you know, teachers work under very trying circumstances with salaries and equipment and so on. So we try as best as we can. This is one out of 1,500 community groups and schools that we have helped from the Ministry of Sport with equipment for the kids to play, whether it be cricket bats, balls, volleyballs, any equipment that the principals request, we try to assist. So it's indeed a pleasure to be here. Today is my constituency day, so I'll head down to the constituency office now to see the adults.
Minister Roberts is commending the school for its achievements in its extracurricular activities. He is also highlighting the importance of these activities in the development of the child.
While I am very proud to see work going on across the country, I'm especially proud to see the work that is going on here at Karapo RC School, because a promise I made, and we are keeping our promises. And we want, when the facilities are finished, that the children, the teachers take care of it as best as possible so that future generations can benefit from physical education, talent identification, and just pure enjoyment of the sporting facilities at the Karapo RC School. Let me commend the staff for all the work that we're doing, not only academically, but in extracurricular activities. As far as I'm aware, we are also national parang champs. Is that true? Well, make some noise. That is incredible. To beat everybody in parang, I am very proud that I am the Member of Parliament for here.
Veena Bharath, News 4.
More news after the break. Stay with us.
Hello, ever thought of cutting your TSTT business landline costs? It's simply a smart choice to make, only from Blink. One fixed monthly rate for bundled local minutes, bundled mobile minutes, bundled international minutes, and many free calling features, all wrapped up to save you a bundle. Smart choice, only from Blink. A bundle of joy.
Welcome back. Following match day 5 of the B-Mobile National Super League, which was contested, just 2 points separate first from 4th place with defending champions Joe Public FC ahead of the pack on 12 points. The most enticing matchup of the day was between FC Santa Rosa and Club Sando. News Sport was there, and here is Wayne Cunningham with the highlights.
A decent crowd turned up at the UTT ground in Arima, where Eastern Club FC Santa Rosa met Southern counterparts Club Sando as action continued in the B-Mobile National Super League. The mid-table clash was an important fixture for the home team, who had only one win to show for their previous 4 matches, while Club Sando were looking much better with 2 wins from 3 matches. Santa Rosa's coach Keith Lookloy was in search of a win to get his team's campaign on track. And 5 minutes in, they almost got the perfect start. Simba Aberdeen's turn, wrong-footing 3 defenders, but the attempt was denied as Alexi Julian pulled off a fine save. Julian was a busy man in the early stages of the match. Fortunately for him, Santa Rosa's shooting left much to be desired. 20 minutes into the encounter, the Eastern team would pay for their shyness in the area. Devon Bristol with a one-time pass out of the midfield to release Jason Boudram, and he beats Andrew Durant with a well-placed shot to make it 1-0 Club Sando. They took that lead to the break, but on the resumption, Santa Rosa came out with all boots blazing. That pressure paid off in the 53rd minute. Denver Dennis delivering a perfect cross for the dreadlocked Aberdeen to head home and tie up the scores. Mohamed Issa's men almost had an immediate reply, but the prolific Andy London could only find a post, and the follow-up effort from Randy Brito was well defended by Dennis. Sando were awarded a penalty after this foul by Durant, but they failed to take advantage as Stefan Berreton's spot kick sails into the O'Meara evening sky. The pain from those misses will be intensified in the 79th minute. It was that man, Aberdeen, playing the role of provider, and the finish from young Dwayne Mockett was cool and mature as Santa Rosa took the lead for the first time in the match and held on for the 2-1 win. The victory put FC Santa Rosa smack in the middle of the standings in 6th position, while Club Sando drops 2 places below them. Joe Public FC leads the 12-team table, followed by Northern outfit Westside Superstars, while Eastern clubs Real Maracas and Wassa FC fill 3rd and 4th places respectively. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
News 4 continues after the break.
It's like no other place on earth. Paria Springs and rainforests that sing, and the bluest seas and skies. But what makes Trinidad and Tobago really special is our people. Our fathers and mothers, sisters and brothers. We're aunts and uncles, neighbors and cousins. And we are officers of a new police service as well. A new service of the 21st century, the police service of tomorrow.
It's different from the old model. And what it is really is a deployment model. So it's how we deploy our resources, how we utilize our resources for their maximum effectiveness.
With new tools, new technology, new leadership, and a new sense of dedication and service to all our people. In the coming weeks, we'll air a series of half-hour specials to show you how we have been re-equipped with new computers, new communication systems, and new rapid response teams so we can respond with speed and precision.
Welcome back. The Ministry of National Security is attacking crime on all fronts. This is the assurance being given by Minister of State in the Ministry of National Security, Colin Partap. Minister Partap gave the assurance while addressing graduates of the Ministry of National Security's National Security Training Unit.
Our nation is currently undergoing serious pressure from the criminal elements within. But our ministry has adopted a practical approach whereby we are attacking crime on every possible level and with full force. Not only are we looking at systems and structures and ensuring the requisite human and physical resources are provided, the legislative framework necessary for effective law enforcement is present.
The training being given to various law enforcement agencies by the National Security Training Unit is also a key factor in the government's fight against crime. Recently, 72 law enforcement officers from 11 agencies graduated from the National Security Training Unit. The officers received training in topics ranging from cybercrime awareness and investigative interviewing to written and conversational Spanish. Minister Partap says without legislation in place to assist officers in making Trinidad and Tobago a safer place, the training would be a waste, hence the implementation of various bills, including the anti-gang legislation.
The Ministry of National Security has also pursued the following major pieces of legislation: the Firearm Amendment Act, the Anti-Gang Act 2011, the Bail Amendment Act 2011, the Trafficking in Persons Act 2011, and the Terrorism Amendment Act 2011. The People's Partnership Government is working unremittedly to restore to the people of this country the feeling of safety and security of which they were robbed for so many years.
Meanwhile, the minister tells the graduates that commitment to duty and country should be manifested in their behavior on and off duty. He reminds them that they are morally and legally bound to assist in the building of public confidence in law enforcement. Minister Partap says officers should always allow integrity, loyalty, obedience, and professional competence to guide their conduct. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Thank you so much for joining us.